Now, what is the mode of transmission? That means how does the disease spread? Now, there are two theories. It might be spreading from animal to humans or human to humans. But the understanding of this mode of transmission is still not complete. So based on whatever evidence is available from the earlier experience from China and the other countries, so the animal to human transmission, initially the association with the seafood market was noticed. Then thereafter, the seafood market also sold live rabbits, snakes, and other animals. The initial concept was that the virus originated from the snakes, but later the studies proved that it had more similarity with the bats on the genetic makeup, and also with that of the pangolins probably. The human to human transmission, that really seems to be the predominant mode of transmission. As the outbreak progressed, person-to-person transmission through droplets and fomites became the primary mode of transmission. The incubation period is presumed to be ranging from 2 to 14 days after the exposure, and the median period being 5 days after the exposure. Coronavirus can live in the patients for 5 weeks after being infected. The highest number that has been recorded so far is 37 days that is reported. Now, coronavirus transmissibility, if we take a look at that, so infected droplets which are larger than 5 micrometers can travel only up to about less than 1 meter. But the aerosols, because of certain procedures, also might be generated, like for example, bronchoscopy. If in general, the coronavirus, a new coronavirus, its the particle size is less than 5 millimeters. So then in that case, it can travel up to more than 1 meter. That would be in the form of the aerosols, which is generally lesser, seen to be a lesser condition. But the other mode of transmission can be contact, both direct and indirect. Now, how does this transmission take place? The droplets. Infected patient, when he or she coughs, sneezes or talks, the virus is released into the respiratory secretions as droplets. These droplets can infect the others if they come in direct contact with the mucous membranes. The droplets typically do not travel distance more than 6 feet. Also, those do not linger on in the air, and hence there are lesser chances of being this particular transmission being airborne or being droplet nuclei. Patients are most contagious when they are symptomatic. Now, what is the life of the virus on the various surfaces? It has been noticed that in the air it can survive up to 3 hours. On the copper utensils or copper surfaces, the life of the virus can be up to 4 hours. On the cardboard boxes, it can be up to 24 hours. On stainless steel, it could survive up to 2 to 3 days. And on the plastics too, it could survive up to 3 days. The various other modes of transmission also have been looked at. The contact with the contaminated surfaces or the objects. On touching the surface, object having the virus on it, and thereafter touching the mouth, nose or eyes can also lead to the transmission of the virus. Now, fecal-oral route of transmission, a probability is there. It has been seen that it can survive in the guts, but the exact evidence is not yet there of its transmissibility via the fecal-oral route. Can it be passed on through a transplacental route? There are 2 instances of the neonates being affected, one in China and one in London, but still the exact whether it was before the birth, these neonates contracted the disease, or after the birth, that is not yet clear. So more evidence is needed in this direction. Similarly, transmission through the breast milk, that too needs more research. Now, COVID-19, how fatal is this condition? So it looks a lot similar to the seasonal flu than to previous coronavirus outbreaks. If we look at this table, so what we see, coronavirus 19, the fatality is about 3.4%, whereas in case of seasonal flu, it is 0.1%, in SARS 10%, and in case of Middle East respiratory syndrome up to 34%. What is the case fatality as compared to the other epidemics? So if we compare with seasonal flu and measles, we see that coronavirus fatality is much higher, that is 3.4%. But as compared to SARS, smallpox, MERS, or Ebola, it seems to be much less deadlier. How contagious or fatal it is. So the contagious part of it can be indicated through R naught, which is a basic reproduction number. It is a mathematical term that indicates how many people each infected person will in turn infect in a fully susceptible population. So the R naught for various epidemics as compared to COVID, if we look at that, so that would be for COVID-19 it is 2.8. That means one infected individual could infect up to 2.8, that is up to 3 individuals in turn, who in turn could infect another 3 individuals. For seasonal flu, the R naught would be 1.3. For influenza, 1.5. For SARS, 2 to 5. On an average, that could be about 3. For Middle East respiratory syndrome, 0.8. For measles, up to 15. The case fatality for COVID-19 is 3.4, and earlier as discussed, for MERS it could be up to 35%.